Okay, so this is for the Alchemical Apprentice Program. A request to talk about how one moves from becoming oneself to being the field. And I would say there's some levels of that. So there's being the field of your greatness, of your expansiveness. There's being the field of the living field of all life on the planet. There's being the field of the universal creation field or of source, or there's so many different facets in which we could include. But I'm going to talk about how I primarily do that. And I do think that some people would say that's not their way, that they have other ways of doing that. And that's fabulous. I think we're all unique and we need to find what it is in us that takes us to the optimal place of mastery, power, genius, creation, etc., unfolding through us. So I'll talk about it like this. So in the frame of us as an individual, as a person, as a body, yeah, mind, heart, all that stuff. But the as an alchemist, the primary for me functional place is what I would call the deep core, which is here. But it's not body centered actually. It's more It's something, someplace deep inside you that connects with the very origins of your very being back to the beginning, whatever that was for you. It reconnects you back to whatever you want to call it, God, source, creator, divine, universe, whatever. Uh, so it's a kind of place beyond the emotional center or all of that. And it's funny because a lot of people would talk about chakras and think that's really important. And it's funny for me because probably for about the last 10 years, chakras have seemed irrelevant to me. And I don't know if that's just for me or for everybody, but when we're body centric, then yeah, I think there are places where the energy flows and moves more. And I think a lot of people talk about the heart being the center of power. It is not for me. The heart, I suppose, is the doorway. You have to be not only open, but wildly open. Like you have to throw your shoulders back, lift your arms up, put your head back, get a smile on your face, open up the flow from the deep core right straight through all of you. So, yes, the beginnings of that journey for people is I'll get my heart open because a lot of people are living protected and, vulnerable and all of that. But like, you got to open up the areas of flow coming right from the very deep core essence of you, right through into the expansive field of you. It's really this, what I call wild open, is really, to me, the place where real alchemical power comes into play. And the deep core is also the place which activates all the possibilities, all the creational things. It's where genius comes from. It's where passion comes from. It's where essence comes from. It's where who you really are and the power to move, transform, transcend people, the planet, the universe, etc. It comes from here. If I tried to do that with my heart, it would kind of be like, now, a lot of people, I will say this, a lot of people that I know would say that they are love maestros, that love is their thing and the heart is the core of that for them. I've never found that for myself. And it might be true for them. I never doubt it because a lot of them say it. And there's a lot of things in the spiritual paradigm that would say love is the ultimate frequency. I don't think it is. I know that's a bit daring to say, but I think there are many higher frequencies than the love frequency, especially coming from the heart of a person on earth. So it's when you're working with the deep core You're actually working with the real, raw, rich power of you through all of time, past, present, future. It's really kind of timeless. It's not fixed in time, but and it's like you are breathing it gives you the capacity to breathe the power of the universe up and through you. And then you wild open, not just, isn't that nice, but like the flow of the field is pouring through you, and you are like pulsing the power of the universe and creation, the life power, the surging creational wonder of the stars and the galaxies and the universe and creation. And you can breathe that through you. But none of this sort of happens for me as a person or as a body. It's like for me, that sense of physicality. I don't know what word to use. It's not that it's irrelevant, it's that it's inconsequential to me. Oh, and I absolutely treat my body really well. I love it very much. I take care of it really well. I do all the right things physically. So I do care about it. I exercise, I eat organic food, I take supplements. I do all the things that would be right to do. But when I am an alchemist working with the invisible forces of creation, of life, of the universe, and in all of it, I'm not a body. But I'm not way out there and gone from my body either. And in the spiritual paradigm, a lot of people would find as they meditate, either they drop deep in or they go far out. So they weren't in their bodies at all. I am very much in my body, but I am not my body. So now we come to living as the living field. So when you are wild open, and the deep core is like, wow, the roar of the universe is pouring through you with great wonder and joy. And it will always put a smile on your face. Always. I've never seen it not do that. I watch people in the different Zoom calls and stuff that we do. And even if somebody I've never met before, and they'll start with, what's this? And they'll wonder about it, and they'll be trying something out and seeing how it is. And then all of a sudden they'll be like, wow, oh my God. Like, because it is central to the physicality that we're in. And I think why it's central to the physicality that we're in is because we're bringing possibilities and creation and all of the invisible forces of life, of the dreams of the universe, of God, source, creator, whatever, into physicality. And it takes, I believe, it takes someone in physicality to bring it into physicality. So when you are operating as a field, let's say as a field of yourself, there's an expansiveness. You are much more than your body. So when I was first doing that, I would say it would go out, good ways, like for sure in my own home, I was as big as my own home, and then it would become as big as the place I lived in, the town, the city, whatever. And then it would become the nation, and then it would become the earth, and then it would become the universe. So that's me expanding my field out, but it's still my field of me. And then what would happen is I would kind of just dissolve into the everythingness of it, the allness of it, and I want to say something about oneness because a lot of people will say the oneness of it all. If you go into what I think we perceive oneness means, you lose you as the central player, the center point of the movement. And I watch people when I say go into oneness, they go, ah, and they're just there, still and quiet. And then I say, okay, okay, make movement. And you can see them go, what? Like, because they're just resting in some feeling of connectedness, which is lovely. but not alchemical. If you want alchemical, you source movement. And to source movement, it takes the activational power of the deep core to source the power of that movement, to call it forth from the great beyond, to pour it through, to put it into the living field of life, reality, earth, universe, wherever you're putting it. And it's our capacity to move great power in great wonder and great creation and the invisible forces of life, the universe of creation. And that's why you have to stand in physicality, in presence. So you are present. You're not out of your body. You are present, almost like a radiant field of emanational awesomeness. That's a way of talking about it, I suppose. Again, a lot of my Murmuration of Maestros group would say they don't experience it that way. They experience it slightly differently. Because I have a great relationship with the universe. The universe and I, we're like buddies. And I've said, yes, I'll become you here. Yes. Like, and others would say they are the source and they've always been the source. And we all say different things about it. So you do have to find your point of power. But here's the thing, being an alchemist, a modern day alchemist, sourcing possibility, creating new realities. You work with the invisible forces and powers of the universe, of the quantum, of, of creation, of life, to bring something new into existence. You are creating motion. You are moving something from invisibility to tangibility in the real world. Okay, so that's you as field and becoming field and being an alchemist. So last piece, the living field of all life everywhere, especially on Earth. I think when I talk about the living field, I'm referring to the world at the moment. So it includes all life forms, nature, oceans, bees, trees, fish, birds, um, mycelium networks, leaves, plants, flowers, oceans. I haven't said that already. Uh, and all of us beings, humans and otherwise, all of it, the earth herself, itself, whatever, however you relate to it, is our sentient, powerful, source, intelligent, miraculous beings, every one of us. And when you get that that's been forging itself and merging itself into a living, dynamic, creational field in our living presence in the world, and we've been at work on this in the Murmuration of Maestros group over the last 2, 3 years, especially over the last 2, 3 years. So what happens when you become the living field? It is so enchantingly dynamic. So you are still a center point for it, but you are everything. You're not oneness. You are everything. You have the understanding of the intelligence of the whales. You have the brilliance of generosity of the mycelium networks. You have the nobility of trees and mountains. You have everything. You are everything. And then it's kind of like you breathe it, your cells are it, you're interwoven with all of it, but it's like, oh my God. For me, you can't see, I can't keep the smile off my face. That's what says I'm working in the right ways, in the right place for me, because the joy is so effervescently present. It's just extraordinary. So if I find myself being kind of, then I'm not being alchemical. If I'm like, oh my God, yes, now I'm being alchemical. I am moving things. I am dynamically engaging with everything. So it's learning to kind of unknow yourself in the way we have known ourselves as a person with a body, with a mind, with a heart, trying to be more energetic and trying to be more connected, etc., etc. No, this is like, imagine living as all everything, the universe and creation, the miraculous earth, nature, life, all of it, surging and powering and becoming something new. And you are an activational alchemical access point for that. There you go. So I recommend you play with that in all the different levels that I described it and get your own experience of it and see, does that feel right for you? If it doesn't feel right, let yourself naturally go to what feels optimal for you. But watch when you're doing it that some thought construct from the past or something you've been taught is limiting your own mastery with it. So, because that can happen when, as you do this, then thought can come in. So I try and go beyond the space of thought because what I want is an exploration adventure journey that amazes and surprises me every time. So it's not like I go in with an agenda. Okay, let's fix the world. No, I go in like, whoa, what wants to happen for us all to thrive and elevate and evolve even more now? Here I am, bring it on. That's how I would come into that engagement with the universe and creation. So there you go. That's me talking about and playing with how I access the deep alchemical core and become the living field of all life, everything surging into its next levels of play. So let me know how you do with it. I'd love to hear. Okay, have a fabulous, magical day. Bye.